if you're scaling, you have to be able to be okay with the fact that you're going to delegate and you're going to find a good candidate, a great candidate that can fulfill kind of 80% of what you do. However, your business is growing. Or you're not going to grow, but you do things 100% your way.
Two things are going on.
Okay.
The school that I just got approved for yesterday has 200 students. Each of them will probably order about 5 shirts. Eventually, because they're changing their logo, and I did their logo for them.
Okay.
I know that I'm going to need another machine because this is not going to get it.
Right.
So at what point do I say, 1, it is time for another machine. 2, it's time to bring on staff because I don't everybody. I mean, and that's just me.
Right. And I mean, this is going to be a long-winded answer, but the short answer to this is you have to look at kind of what stage your business is at, right? So you mentioned this order of 200 pieces from a school. Is that like a one-off, or is that something that you're getting on a regular basis? If that's something that's of the norm, then of course you need to think about how to scale next, right? Because if you're used to getting, this is just a one-off, but you're getting orders of, 3-4 pieces, maybe half a dozen, and that's your average order size, then perhaps it's not the right time yet to scale your business and hire staff and expand the capacity that you have to fulfill orders. But if this order of this school is going to be 200 students with 5 shirts each, well, that's 1,000 pieces. That in no way, shape, or form are you going to complete that with a single head machine. At least not for a couple of weeks or a month and a half, right? So, and that's probably staying up till 12 a.m., 2 a.m. every single day for the next 5 to 6 weeks, right? And which also means you also have to think about it in this sense. If that's the case and you're doing that, you're only fulfilling orders for the next 5 to 6 weeks. You're not growing your business. You're only fulfilling the revenue that was given to you. You're only fulfilling the order that you just got. You're not growing your business in any way in the next 5 to 6 weeks. So the short answer to this is, I mean, there are a lot of factors, but the number one thing to look at is whether you can afford it, right? Whether this is the norm of the type of business that you're getting, or this is a one-off situation, or this is kind of like, hey, I'm starting to get larger orders of 50 pieces, 100 pieces on a regular basis. I get these, 2 to 3 times a week. Well, then you need to start thinking about getting not only staff, but bigger equipment to be able to fulfill those orders in a timely manner, right? Because now that you've gotten the order, that's only the start of it. If you're getting a big account like a school, that's recurring revenue every single year, because they have incoming students. If you do a good job, they're doing that every single year, maybe even every half year when you're changing over from spring to fall, right? So those things are things to consider. And then the second point about hiring staff, it goes along with the first point is, one, can you afford someone to maybe do the operations for you? I think the first key hire in any embroidery business or custom apparel business is someone to operate the machine. Because I think that part can be easily trained and outsourced. And what's critical to your business is handling the clients. Since you built those relationships with them from the beginning, you want to make sure that they're happy. You're out there growing your business. You're out there kind of scaling your business, getting more revenue, so that someone on the back end can fulfill those orders with you. Right? You might, instead of doing 100% of the fulfillment and embroidering, now you're maybe doing 50%. Right? Or 30%. So now you have 70% of time kind of like, freed up to do other things that can scale, that can help grow your business. Instead of focusing on, okay, the next 5 weeks, I am just going to be in my garage and in my house doing orders all day. Then you're not growing at all, right?
Okay. That makes sense.
And one other thing I would mention to you about looking for your first key hire, and in your case, I think what makes the most sense is a machine operator that can help you run the machines, especially if you're looking to expand the capacity for other machines, right? You want someone that can run both machines if you're getting a second one. But also the key thing to understand is don't waste all the time looking for that perfect hire, right? Because you're not going to find that perfect person that's going to do exactly 100% as how you do it. That's that's going to be impossible to find. You'll be looking for a needle in a haystack. And two, you have to understand that if you're scaling, you have to be okay. You have to be able to be okay with the fact that you're going to delegate and you're going to find a good candidate, a great candidate that can fulfill kind of 80% of what you do, right? Do about up to par 80%, 90% of what you do. However, your business is growing. Or the flip side to that is you're not going to grow, but you do things 100% your way.
Okay.
You see it, right? So it's better, 10% of a watermelon is better than 100% of a grape, right?
Right.
So, okay. So you want to make sure that you are giving up some of that control and be able to delegate and live with the fact that it's okay that they can't do 100% of what you do, but you're growing the pie. Make sense?
Okay. Wow. That's a whole different mindset.
It's the first thing to do is change your mindset. First thing to do in any business, and I know it's hard. I've been through the exact same thing. Because I know what it's like to be like, hey, can this next person do the same thing that I've been used to doing, or I'm preaching, or my philosophy? Can they follow that to the T? And throughout the years, the answer is no. You can't, unless you can clone yourself. Unless you can make a cloning machine and clone yourself 10 times over, you cannot find someone that's 100% exactly like how you do it. But that's completely okay because the business is moving forward and they can do it at 90%, even 80% of what you do. But the business is growing, and now I've grown a grape into a watermelon instead of holding on to a grape that's going to be a grape for forever if I don't scale.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All right.
Because my thought was they could do the admin work, but I see what you're saying because they could do that work, and I just have to teach them.
Exactly, and you're right in that aspect. Like I would say, probably the first hire, it's either the machine operator, because I think that probably adds more value if you can find someone that's good. Right? Then the admin work. The admin work part, I think the reason why I prioritize the machine operator over the admin work is the admin work is easy. It's just time consuming.
Yes.
It's not hard to teach. It's like someone can do an invoice and process an order for you. That's not hard to teach. What's harder to teach is the machine operations. But if you tackle that first and you get over that hurdle, you're more likely to scale faster and scale easier, finding an admin to take on the second part of the work. And now you solely focus on customer retention, and you solely focus on making customers happy and getting more orders, talking to bigger accounts and getting business in. And then the back end of the admin and the machine operations just takes care of itself.
Okay. And it's funny, I have a couple of interns that come in because I also teach sewing. So they come in and they see the machine and they go,
perfect. That's you've just uncovered the holy grail, the golden mine to get your next batch of candidates in to be operators, right?
So and I showed them how to use it, but I didn't think about using them for the machine to help because they usually do like the organization of stuff, like helping me keep things organized as far as my orders.
Right. But if you're teaching them sewing, it's already naturally that they have an inkling, right, or some kind of idea about embroidery. Yeah. It's a natural transition towards that. And hey, you just go up to them and be like, hey, look, you've been an intern here and learning sewing for a while now. Are you interested in taking your career to the next level and be a machine operator on embroidery? I will teach you everything. I will train you. I will make you really good. And now you're learning a new set of skills and then seeing how that side of the business works. And I don't think a lot of them would say no. I think a lot of them would say yes and be like, yeah, I'm interested in doing that.
They also gives me an OJT so I can see how they work with the machine.
Exactly. Yeah. You can even be like, hey, let me try you out for a couple of days. Let me teach you for a week, right? And on how to run the machine, right? Let me see how you do. But my point is, you've just uncovered a pool of candidates that not a lot of people have access to, right?
Okay.
Because of what you do with teaching sewing, that's a natural flow. That's a natural funnel of candidates that not everyone has access to. So you don't have to make a post and hire new candidates that have no experience. You at least get someone that has a sewing experience. And I don't know how many students that you have, but I'm sure, or interns you have, I'm sure a subset of them are more than interested to take on a machine operator role in a growing embroidery business and help you grow and learn a new skill.
I have 4 right now, so.
Awesome. I mean, 1 out of those 4, 25% chance. I mean, that's that's the bare minimum of I think 1 out of 4. It's very easily able to be converted into a machine operator that you can train and build their skill set. And who knows, they can be very, very good. And then the next step is to get an admin and do all the invoicing and order processing, and all of that will just kind of kickstart your business. And you focus on the growth and actually working on your business and not in the weeds of your business.
Right. I think my problem is that I never see the periphery. I'm just straight on focused on what I'm focused on. I didn't even think about the interns.
No, and I get it because you're in the day in and day out, right? Like you're like, oh man, I need to fulfill these orders. I need to get a new order. Yeah. I have a real estate company that wants me to do a couple of shirts. Oh, awesome! I'm getting all these orders coming in. You're excited you're fueled by the excitement of what you're able to achieve and the growth that you're getting, right? And getting a big contract with a school, 200 students, 5 shirts each, like that's exciting, right? Not many people can do that. So you've done the hard part. You've done the hard part of getting the business and actually having revenue. Now it's time to think about how to structure your back end operations better so that you can continue to do the things that you are doing now without taking time away to do the things that can be outsourced and can be offloaded to someone else that can just do it just as well.